if you know anything about me, you know I like coffee. And most of the time, what I've noticed about people who really enjoy coffee like I do is a lot of them will frequent places that serve coffee relatively quickly. They're always rushing out the door in the morning, so they don't have time to make coffee at home. So it's, I'll just go get a coffee from Starbucks or something. I don't have time to make coffee at home. I'll just get one on the way. Yet, making your own coffee at home, at least in my experience, it's a calming process, and it allows me to just enjoy the quiet moment of making my own coffee. And it is a process. You know, you have to get out the coffee grounds, measure the coffee grounds, so on and so forth. And there are many different ways that people can make coffee. Some ways are quicker than others, but one of my favorite ways of making coffee is to make iced lattes. And the thing about iced lattes is they need espresso. And espresso can be really tricky. And you have to be willing to be patient when you're making espresso. You have to be willing to sit in the quiet and wait. And I know it can be hard to be patient, but the end result is so worth it when it comes to making coffee. And I think that's very similar to Christians who need to be willing to sit and wait in the Lord. Most of the time, we as Christians are just so busy with life in general that we forget that we need to take time to just sit and wait and listen. This is why I have started just making my own coffee at home, because when I wake up in the morning and I start making my own coffee, it gives me time to just reflect on things without being in a rush. Making coffee at home is a process, but throughout that process, you allow yourself to think about things that you might not have even thought to think of at a normal time, because usually we're just so busy rushing that we don't give ourselves time to just pause and think. When you're making espresso, you have to measure things out. But you can't just scoop the coffee grounds into the little thing and just leave it there. It's a mound. If you leave it like that, the coffee's not going to distribute evenly when you make it. So you have to kind of nudge it around a little bit to evenly disperse it. And this reminds me of how God nudges you in the right direction onto the path that He has for you. So you have to evenly disperse things. And when you disperse, you apply pressure so the coffee becomes compact. And a lot of times in life, we as Christians come under a lot of pressure, and that's not a bad thing. It's for a reason and for our benefit. Just like when you compress the coffee grounds for espresso, you're making it so that the end result will come out better. Another thing with espresso is once it's done brewing, you can't just pour it into a drink outright. You have to let it sit and develop. When you let it sit and develop, it develops a deeper flavor. And that is similar to when we as Christians just allow ourselves to sit in the presence of God and be deepened by Him and through Him. And we can't do that unless we are actively sitting and just being in the presence of the Lord. Take time to enjoy your coffees in the morning. Take time to make your coffee at home and enjoy the process of getting to create something. You never know what God might be telling you if you don't take the time to just be able to open yourself up to listening and what He has to say.